The purpose of war, you see, is never over resources, not even necessarily power and control, but rather we go to war simply to justify our own existence. You see, the foundation of war, the root, is that of self and other. There must be two opposing parties for there to be war. And so it is in contrast in which we experience this life. We come to know the light only through knowing the darkness. We come to know God by knowing the absence of God. We come to appreciate food when we are starving. And so too, I cannot know myself as good unless I have an enemy that is evil. I cannot be a teacher unless you are a student. And so too, everybody in some way or another is using other people to justify their own existence. And of course, it is a very natural human reflex. But I find it to be almost intolerable to listen to people who do this, because they stand proud to say, "Look at me, look how righteous and good I am," when it is so easy and obvious to see right through this mask, the mask of morality. It is the most sickening form of evil. Most would think that pure evil is the worst, but that is not the truth. The highest evil comes in the form of pretending to be good, to pave the way to hell with good intentions. I like to say it's better to be honest and evil than to be a good liar. And those who are the best at lying are those who lie to themselves. Because it is often in running away from the truth in which we reject the darkness within, all those things which we would rather not face. And so by repressing that evil, we can project that evil onto others, and to separate ourselves from them, so we may say, "Oh good, they are others. They are evil and they have the undesirable traits. And because I am different than them, that means I do not have those traits." But you do have those traits. You just don't want to look at them. And so we can see what we have rejected in ourselves by the ways in which we judge others. Because our outer reality is a projection of our inner world. And so what do you see when you look out at other people? Do you see people who are always out to get you? Do you always see problems? Do you always see difficult people? If you're always encountering people who are difficult, that means you are difficult. If you're always seeing problems with others, that means you are a problem. If you're always focusing on the shortcomings of others, it means you have not spent the time to focus on the shortcomings of yourself. If you're always looking at the wrongdoings and the evil of other people, it means you have not faced your own wrongdoings and the evil within yourself. Because once you face the evil and you look in the mirror, you realize you can no longer justify judging others. If you judge another, ask yourself this: on your absolute worst moment, at your lowest point, the worst thing that you've ever done, reflect upon that and ask yourselves, is that thing worse than what I am judging that other person for? And if that answer is yes, then you cannot judge that other person, because that would be hypocritical. That doesn't mean or take away in any way whatsoever one's responsibility over their actions. That doesn't mean at all that people don't have to pay for the consequences of their actions. What it means is that you can no longer justify judging other people, Because you have done worse, you have been worse. And in your lowest moment, would you not want others to have mercy upon you? Would you not want others to see the goodness in your heart? That who you are in your lowest moment is not a reflection of your character, but it is what you do in response to these low moments that is a reflection of who you are. And so you do not have the context of what that other person is going through, how they will respond to their low moments. Therefore, judging them is a waste of time. However, judging others is very useful because it is an easy way for us to reflect upon ourselves. Every time I've ever judged somebody, after reflecting, I could see exactly how that was advice intended for me, that it was the unconscious speaking through me and to me in the form of a judgment. And what you will find is that the unconscious is always speaking to us, but we do not often listen because we are so caught up in our own sense of self-identity, in waging war with others, that we do not take the time to step back and reflect upon ourselves. And so long as we do not take the time to discover our true nature, we will continue to destroy others in the world around us. All in the name of being right. All in the name of being righteous. And at some point or another, we will have to face as our world crumbles, as it falls to pieces before us, and the truth is revealed, that we were never on the side of the good guys, but it was just an illusion that we were fooled into believing. So if one is to go to war, at least go to war with yourself, because that is a battle that can be won, and it is won when you discover who you truly are. The war within oneself is won when you decide who you want to be. But I say, even going to war with yourself is all just mind games. And that the only way to win a war is to not fight. Now that doesn't mean in real life there aren't situations in which you are forced to fight. Sometimes you have to choose the better of two evils. But when it comes to waging war within on yourself, the mind has an infinite number of resources to destroy you. It knows everything about you, but you do not know everything about it. Your resources are limited. And so good luck to you if you wish to wage war with yourself. The point was never to win, it was to discover who you really are. And you discover who you are by letting all that which you are not perish away. And so if you go to war, let the parts of yourself that do not serve you die, and let them go. Burn off the dead wood, and the nutrients of the ashes will fertilize the soil in which you will rise up into a new being and be reborn again. And so this is the true purpose of war. The purpose of war is to destroy so that something new can be created. Sometimes the old world has to be destroyed in order for the new one to take its place. Sometimes your old self has to be destroyed for your new self to arise. And so see war for what it is and allow it to do its job, but do not lose focus on what truly matters. That is, destruction and death will always pave the way for creation and life. For life and death are but one thing, two opposites. So too creation and destruction are inseparable. So too darkness and light serve the whole. So focus on what is good. Don't allow the negativity in, the fear. That is a distraction from the purpose of war. Do not focus on the death and destruction. unless this helps you understand the lessons of war, unless this helps you understand the lessons to be learned. And so the suffering that is created causes us to seek liberation and freedom from that suffering. Death and destruction and war causes us to seek peace. And as horrible as it is, life would not be without it. So in war, do not lose hope, but rather focus on a new horizon, a better future. Allow that which no longer serves us to be destroyed and washed away, whether it be ideas or old versions of ourselves, because however uncomfortable death is, however we may reject destruction, we could not pave the way for new life, new creation without it. So all is well, it always has been, but it is your choice to see it that way or not.